Is your speech, is it done? Are you going to ad-lib it? Did it take a lot of time? Are you one of these guys where you wait till the night before? What are you doing there?
I've been thinking about it, so I need to start, putting thought to paper probably today. And then I always have been kind of the last minute. My wife's been on me a little bit about, you probably need to start writing your speech. And I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. So today I'm going to take some time and then, probably a little bit every day from here until Saturday. So, I'm not a big speech guy. I don't mind answering questions, but I haven't done a lot of those. So I'm a little nervous about it, to be honest with you.
So I checked this I didn't know this until Baseball Reference, that you and Albert, born, according to Baseball Reference, one day apart, January 15th and January 16th, 1980. So when you're seeing this man doing what he's doing, which I think is the best story in all of Major League Baseball right now, is it crazy to you? Are you saying, hey, I want to get out there and try to play again, or what?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, the last, 6 weeks, or even, I guess, going back to the All-Star break, he's looked, his swings and just his whole body language, it looks like, in his prime Albert, and obviously the results on the field are showing that it is that. But it's been really fun to watch, as you said. I really, really, really want him to get to 700. I really want him to beat Alex Rodriguez's number, and so it's been awesome. It's been huge for the Cardinals, but it's been fun. We're one day apart, and so it's pretty cool that he's still doing it. 20 some years in the major leagues, and to be, it's just crazy to think that he's got 692 home runs. That's just such a silly number. So all the numbers he's adding up and passing. Stan Musial, and he's passing total base. All these things. They're just crazy numbers, and it's just, like I said, I've enjoyed tuning in all summer to Cardinal baseball.
Somebody else was having a big season, big summer here. Somebody you might be familiar with, too, by the name of Jackson Holliday, I believe it is, who's hitting over 400 over his first few games here, swiped a few bags, went deep the other day. How crazy is it to see what the early returns are for your son in his career?
Well, it's been fun. He calls me, and so it's kind of crazy because he doesn't know if he's playing until like the night before. They've kind of eased him in a little bit, and they've started him out with 5 innings and then 7 innings, and then now he's played 9 innings the last three games or 4 maybe. And then this team only has two games left, and they're not sure. No one's told him whether he's going up to low A after that, because the low A team plays another 2 weeks. So it's been fun to follow along. There's no video from the Florida Camp League, occasional Twitter video or highlight. So I'm constantly scrolling through Twitter during his games, hoping that someone catches some action. And so it's been fun. I'm excited for him that he's having success and that he's doing well and having fun. And so it's been really cool. It's hard to believe that he's doing that. I miss him, getting a chance to just spend a lot of time together, which we typically do. So right now, my Ethan, my 15-year-old's in Arizona with the USA team, and Jackson's down in Florida with his team. So it's been kind of weird around here not having the boys. So it's been fun though.
Well, Kat said he got a chance to run into Ethan down there while he was down by the Cardinals were down there.
Yeah, he did an interview with Ethan. So Ethan did not follow my orders of busting Kat's balls very hard. So he was a little too nice to Jim, but he got a chance to see Kat and do a little interview. So it was pretty cool to see him do that. And he was like, "Man, Dad, I always watched you do interviews with Jim," and then I just did an interview with him. I'm like, "Yeah, it's not that impressive."
Now, did that already air?
Yeah, they pregame
okay.
Yesterday.
Yeah, we'll find out.
So when you're watching these Cardinals games, we were talking with Jim earlier, and not just because we're covering the team and watching, but it really seems like especially when they play some of these lesser teams, that no matter how much they get down, this Cardinals team is going to come back and win. And maybe when they play the Braves, let's say this weekend, it'll be a different story. And you're facing a more competitive team, but it feels like this is a special year. Are you starting to kind of feel that as you're watching them play?
Yeah, I mean it's been a little bit up and down, maybe in the first half, but in the last probably 6 weeks, I feel like they've really started to play good ball. And consistently, they're getting big hits, and they're as healthy as they've been. And when you look at it, if you could get Jack Flaherty back, and it looks like he, had another good rehab outing, even if you add him to the bullpen to where he comes in and pitches 2 innings or 3 innings, the pitching staff is really the starters have given them more length, and I think it's taken some pressure off of the back end, and they've been able to take a couple guys that were starting and put them back in the bullpen. It's helped kind of those middle innings when they've needed it. So it's been the last, what are they, 15-3 in August, something like that, and sort of running away from the Brewers right now. So I'll be interested to see, like you said, this weekend facing the Braves and a really good team, and it'll be kind of a good litmus test on where they are. Sort of heading down the stretch and on into the playoffs. But it's been an exciting summer. I mean, Albert, like I said, playing at the level he's playing at, and Yachty had 3 hits the other night, and Waino obviously is still pitching like a stud, and Ollie's one of my great friends, and Skip, and I get a chance to see them in the dugout all the time. So I've had a blast watching this season.
Matt, last year, obviously, the Cardinals had the huge winning streak to round the season off, and and it really was something remarkable to see. As a club, when you've had that experience, you've been there before, does that carry over? Will the guys that were part of that start to feel that and be able to replicate that type of, not necessarily outcome, but just be able to tap into that again at this point in the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure. You know what it took. I mean, you understand the sort of the ingredients that it takes to go on a run like that, and it's everybody contributing every night, and having different guys step up, and it's so I think the experience of playing that well and running off that kind of streak, it doesn't necessarily, like you said, give you wins, but it does have a mindset that you're familiar with, that you've been a part of, that you can spot, and you just start to have that feeling in the clubhouse where everybody's excited about getting to the field, and there's this really upbeat atmosphere, and every night you have this confidence that like you talked about earlier, when you get behind, it's no problem. You're going to find a way to win, and there's this belief that happens amongst the group where it's just a special feeling where you can come back and win, and I think that having a strong rotation and now a bullpen that's really pitching well, and then right now an offense that's clicking. If one of those is down on a night, if you have a starter like maybe the other night the starter came out early, but somebody comes in the middle and stabilizes and gives your offense a chance to catch up, and then once you get there, you pass them. There's just everybody is kind of doing their job, and then when you do have one prong of the team have a bad night, the other two pick it up, and I think that's been something that they've been really good at lately.
All right, changing topics. Cam makes fun of me for many reasons,
yes.
But one of them being I never watched Game of Thrones, only because I never got into it, and now I feel like I'm too many episodes behind. And then there's this new prequel,
House of the Dragon. So my question is, Matt Holliday, did you watch Game of Thrones, or if not, is there a show or was there a show, whether it's Better Call Saul or Billions or whatever, that you and your wife watch, or a show that you were really into the last couple years or the last decade?
Okay, so I'm with you. I got on the Game of Thrones. I'm overwhelmed how behind I am, so I haven't watched it. I love Yellowstone, so I'm really looking forward to Yellowstone coming back on. We were into that or are into that, and then Homeland was a show that we watched over when COVID happened, that we power watched and literally stayed up till 4:00 in the morning watching because we had nothing to do the next day because no one had anything to do. So those two shows stand out. I've watched quite a few shows in the last 3 years, but I would say that Homeland and Yellowstone are my favorites, but I have not watched Game of Thrones. But I'm not opposed to starting it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, Maddie. And speaking of which, like, what are you doing now that the kids are gone? Like, what do you got any new hobbies or anything? Or are you just working out, getting jacked as usual?
Yeah, I've been working out a lot and then watching baseball. Been playing a lot of pickleball. We've been traveling some. So we were down in Arizona with Ethan for a few days. So it's been a busy summer, but the last few days kind of jumped back into some pickleball and working out. And our guys here at OSU are starting to roll back into town. So we started school. OSU started school today, and so we'll start back up with some practice stuff here pretty soon, and things will be busy. But it's and looking forward to coming to St. Louis.
Yeah, man. Well, get that speech done. Don't procrastinate on that, Maddie. Get that done.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't just wing this one, which I typically do, but I probably should.
Well, if you get in time, Kat's made herself available to help any last notes you might have or anything you want to go over to make sure it's where you need it to be.
I actually probably would take you up on that.
Right on.
Probably should.
All right, Maddie, go do your thing, bud, and get that speech done, and we'll see you this weekend.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Right on.
All right, see ya.
Maddie Holliday.
See, how about that?
Maddie
You didn't chirp
Holliday.
him for not watching
he's cool.
Game of Thrones.
Well, I kind of figured he didn't get into that.
Why is that? He likes
Okay.
Yellowstone?
Yeah. I just kind of figured he didn't get it.
I bet you like it.
I just figured he wouldn't get into it.
I just think you didn't want to get your hopes up that he would dive into the intricacies of politics and dragons with you.
I just don't. It's just not his style.
But hold on, though. Those other shows you mentioned are both badass shows in different genres. One's a Western, tons of violence.
I love
the
it.
other one is more terrorism, tons of violence.
Not violence like Game of Thrones.
Homeland, they're blowing up. They're blowing up.
I know what they're doing. Yeah, it's. I get that. I watch both of them. Game of Thrones is on a different level with all kinds of stuff. A lot of stuff going on in that show. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff. If you're a young kid and you're watching that,
you probably shouldn't be doing
he comes
that.
in, like, it could get rattled quick. Like, the kid could be like, what is that? Yeah.
And, unfortunately, I'm going to say unfortunately, what happens, and I'm sure this happened for Matt, is he probably watches more shows that his kids watch.
Yeah.
Whatever show teenage boys watch, which is probably YouTube, I don't even know. But I watch more of Dino Dana. And
I don't think they're into that.
Okay, I'm just telling you that I have to watch shows like Mickey Mouse and Dino Dana and frickin' Peppa Pig.